the name of Yahweh, in the name of the Most High, in the name of the true Creator, not the one that was beat into us by our slave owners, but in the true name of Yahshua. I bid you good evening. Normally, this would be an episode of Facts Over Feelings where I would teach. And those of you all who are my students, who are actual students of the original text, not what was beat into your ancestors, but what was actually taken out of what you would call the Biblios, the Bible, doesn't become worth anything until you put the word holy in front of it. Biblios just means book. So until you put the word holy in front of it, it means nothing. And they decided that they wanted to chop down the book so they could control black people for centuries to come. It has worked pretty well. You all are controlled. As soon as something happens in your community, the first thing they want to do is call out pastors and preachers to tell you to be cool. It works because as soon as you find yourself in a situation that you cannot overcome, the first thing, a God that you can't see. Pray to a God that doesn't appear to answer you. Pray to a God after something terrible has happened to you. Uhuru. Unfortunately, those of us who know better, normally we sit and we discuss and I exegete the original text. That would be the book of Enoch with Yahshua's name restored. That would be the book of Enoch with Yahweh's name restored. That would be the book of Jubilee. That would be the book of Yasher. That would be any book that they kept you from learning of your true nature. Why am I saying these things? Because we have to remember, people, that even though we're on the ground dealing with all this craziness, there is a reason why it's all happening right now. You have seen me in warrior mode, and any king should be able to step off the throne and become a warrior. Tonight, I must function in my regalness because I must honor a great man. A man who attempted to do some of the very things that I am doing right now. And they killed him for it. If you're not aware, today Malcolm X would have been 95 years old. He would have been an old man living in a black country with black people, with their own black finances, their own black trade, their own black army, their own black politicians, and their own issues and causes. That's the world that a man who was originally Malcolm Little became Malcolm X. Malcolm X was an individual who did not believe that we should turn the other cheek. He did not believe that we should integrate with folks until we got ourselves together. He did not believe that we should allow ourselves to integrate with the group of people who continuously attack, depress, oppress, and rob us of everything that we've created, and then deny us the knowledge thereof so that we have no ownership of it. Malcolm X was a man who thought that he had found the path that would liberate his people. But what he found out is something that we all found out, is that your enemy looks just like you. My enemies look just like me. It's not the white folks. I can spot them a mile away, but I can't spot you. So I'm speaking tonight about three things, and I'm going to raise up out your hair, that we need to talk about. If you thought you was going to tune in and catch me all geared up with M16s all over the place and bullets and armor, as you know, yes, I can get into war mode, and I mean every word I say. I back it up. We will pull up on that ass. But we don't want to have to do that tonight. Tonight, we want to lift up the man Malcolm X. If Mr. X was still here, I would let him know, ain't a damn thing changed, partner. We still got work to do. And I teach in here. Let's get it cracking. So we first give honor to Yahweh because therefore we understand why all this craziness is happening on our planet. Sooner or later, and Mr. X said this before he passed away, he said that one day, the people would come to the realization that nothing that they were doing was working and that the only solution was for us to push back and hit back everything that is owed to us and everything that has been done to us. And he said, it's going to happen on its own. That's what he said. Little did he know that it would take 50 to 60 years for it to happen. If you don't think you're living in the second civil rights movement, let me be the first person to tap your alarm clock and give you a wake-up call. Because the person that you're listening to right now, I am one of those people that has awakened. I am one of those people that has been tired of watching us continuously say, work with me, work with me, work with me. And all you do is not work with me, not work with me, keep lying to me, keep killing me, keep pissing in my face and calling it rain. Sooner or later, we was going to get pissed off. And if there's somebody on here who just can't understand, I don't know what he's angry about, then maybe enough shit ain't happened to you to get you pissed off. Maybe you don't feel the blood in your body boiling like it's in mine and my other ancestors. Maybe you don't feel angry enough because you're too comfortable in your captivity. Maybe you just haven't had none happen to you personally enough to get you involved in the mix. Well, guess what? Whether you get involved or not, we either gonna go with you or we gonna go without you, but we going either way. It is time's up. Y'all need to stop playing with these people. Y'all need to stop sitting down talking about, yeah, we're a loving people when no one is loving us. Yeah, we're a peaceful people when nobody's peaceful with us. Yeah, we want to work it out when don't nobody want to work out shit with us. Yeah, we want to let you continue to move in our neighborhoods, but you're putting us out on the street. Y'all, if you ain't upset by now, then I have to question what's inside of you. You don't have heart and you don't have our blood. Y'all better talk to me up in here. 2020 rolled in the way it did for a reason. 2020 wanted you to be uncomfortable. 2020 wanted to take away your distractions. 2020 was saying, time's up. Y'all walking around like it's the Walking Dead, like we a bunch of zombies up in this piece. So they had to shake you up to wake you up. Let me say that again, shake you up to wake you up. And if you ain't awake by now, then you never gonna wake up. You see, we're not just awake. Anybody who's ever woke up, you wake up first, but then you got to get up and do something. A lot of y'all claim to be awake. I see you walking around talking about, I'm woke, I'm conscious. That's good. Now get your ass up and let's do something. And all of you all that ain't gonna get up and ain't gonna do nothing, all of you all who still believe that you are under the power of the crown of the white man, all of you all who just can't shake the slave master mentality, so you abide by their rules and their laws, all of you all that keep going to them to ask them to fix something that you can fix yourself, all of y'all that don't want to do that, step the fuck to the side and let those of us who want to handle our business so we can have our own business and get these people out of our business. Let us do our thing. You stay here with Master. I want to thank all of you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules and not think it robbery to come hang out with a brother just for a few minutes so I can put something in your ear. Currently, we have over 12,000 individuals who have volunteered to become a part of what we call the not fucking around crew. You see, I salute the Minister Farrakhan because he had a 1,000,000-man march that I did attend, but I don't want a 1,000,000-man march. We don't march no goddamn more. We ain't carrying signs no more. We don't want to sing we shall overcome. We ain't overcame jack. What I'm looking for is a 1,000,000-man army. I'm looking for a 1,000,000 that's armed. I'm looking for a 1,000,000 women that's armed. I'm looking for a 1,000,000 people on foot. You want to see a 1,000,000 people? Let me show you what a 1,000,000 army looks like. Then maybe you'll give us some respect. Then maybe you'll want to change some laws overnight. Then maybe you can find a couple of dollars for some reparations. Maybe. But what you won't do is continue to let me see what I have seen this week. This week alone, I have seen, let me break it down for you. In London, the police killed a man with a knife after they tased him 3 times in Trafalgar Square. The man came up with a knife. See, they're not allowed to own guns, y'all. So the man came with a knife and they tased him 3 times and the tase didn't work. So they shot him. It was a real big deal. In Paris, a man went into the police station, killed 3 police officers and the secretary, and then they shot him with a knife. Notice they're not allowed to have guns because we all know that guns don't kill people. People kill people. If you take the guns away, they're going to find something else to kill you with. All of those attacks happened overseas. You don't hear about them in the press. They're not going to tell you how white people is killing white people over in Europe and they're doing it with guns. They too busy trying to disarm these niggas over here. Think about it. But in America, meanwhile, in that same week, we had police officers who beat a handcuffed man. Y'all seen the video? Bruh was handcuffed and they just started beating on him. He can't even defend himself. How much of a coward you got to be to hit me while I got cuffs on me? In America, police jumped on a woman in the subway with her child looking over a mask. And her child is now traumatized for the rest of his life because he done seen a bunch of men jump on his mama. And all she did was not have a mask on. In America, I saw police beating a child. The child screaming for her mama. It's a grown ass man sitting there punching a child, punching the child. I saw a man run into his house and the police shot him down 10 times. Bruh tried to put his hands up on him. The police shot the bruh down. Notice the common denominator in all those stories was America and the police. America and the police. Don't nobody talk about, or don't talk to me about black on black crime. Because I told you in the book Brainwash, they broke down why blacks kill blacks. But y'all act like don't nobody else kill nobody else. You ever look at the white on white crime rate? You ever look at the Latino on Latino crime rate? You ever look at the Chinese on Chinese crime rate? So why the fuck are you focused on how many black people kill black people? People kill who they around for a number of reasons. But one reason that black folks in America are so violent toward each other because a lot of us have deep-seated hatred that goes all the way back to slavery. And we still haven't been given a chance to actually heal. We still suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder. So of course we killing each other. But that don't mean that you gonna get the right to shoot us down when you see fit, when you don't do that shit to your own people. And we sick of that. Now, because of that, the other headline after those 5 that I just read you out where the police is beating us people up and shooting people down, overkill. See, the boy in Indianapolis jumped out the car. Did it take all them bullets, cuz? Okay, I hear you. He shot that man down in Baltimore. Did it take all those bullets, cuz? No, it didn't. Before I go any further, in case you don't know, this is a pro-black page. This is a pro-black broadcast. And if you are the melanin challenge persuasion, if you're a white person, you may not want to hang around on here too much longer because you gonna get mad. Because I didn't come to make you feel good. I didn't come to sing what Martin Luther King sang. You see, Martin Luther King, a lot of people say, well, Martin Luther King was nonviolent. Let me help you out. Martin Luther King never said he was nonviolent. Martin Luther King said that there was no way that we could win a war in the situation we was in. So it would have been stupid to try to go to war with all these white folks and get us obliterated. That's what he meant. That's why he never would say, let's fight. We couldn't win the fight. On the other hand, Mr. Malcolm came along and said, damn that, we're going to go anyway. We're just going to take a few of them with us. So stop singing that shit to me about Martin Luther King was nonviolent. No, he realized that we couldn't win. Well, that was 60 years ago, y'all. 60 years later, we're much better equipped. We're much better trained. We're a lot more wealthy. We're a lot more educated. We got a lot more world support, and we weren't born yesterday. So treating us like it's 1966 again is the worst thing you could do to us. Black people, I implore you tonight that if you have never thought about this, think about this. If they haven't done a damn thing for you in the last 60 years, what the hell makes you think they're going to do something for you in the next 60 years? And if don't nobody want to stand up here and sit in this spot because they too scared to get shot, they too scared to bleed, they just too scared. If you one of those people, sit your punk ass down over there and let the real black men step up. Because I know it's got to be one or two of y'all out there with me tonight that will testify with me that I'm a black man, Jay. I just think the same thing you think, but I can't do it by myself. I know you can't. That's why it's time for us to get together. Now, you know, sooner or later, they're going to pull the plug on this live. And when they do, well, I got another surprise for them. Make sure y'all drinking this alkaline 10.0 water because your system is electrical. And as long as you keep it alkalinic, viruses can't thrive. See, I don't need a COVID-19 test. You ain't putting shit up my nose. You ain't putting a needle in my arm. I already know that there's certain roots that I can eat and foods that I can eat that will strengthen my immune system so no virus can attack me. So don't go around acting like, you know what, that y'all just keep on doing what you're doing and let them do you like that. That's not going to work. But we're going to get into that in a minute. You know, I have a dream. Yeah, I got a dream too. You know, my dream is not like Martin Luther King's dream. My dream is to have the Bloods and the Crips and the Nation of Islam and all the motorcycle gangs and all the fraternities and all the gun associations and all the gun clubs and all the brothers that's willing to come together to form one force, to form one army. That's my dream. Yeah, that's my dream. I got a dream. You know, Martin Luther King had a dream, but I got a dream too. My dream was neighborhoods patrolled by armed blacks. My dream is police that are shadowed by the black police force. My dream is neighborhood crime that is protected and presented by the black police. My dream is that the police can be arrested too by the black police. I have a dream that people fight back when they see the police not policing, but being abusive. I have a dream. Yeah, I have a dream about eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You put one of mine in the hospital, I put one of yours. I got a dream. I have a dream that I know we don't start nothing, but we end everything. See, that's my dream. If I had that dream, the police wouldn't be beating up handcuffed people. If I had that dream, the people wouldn't be jumping on people while the crowd stood by and watched and did shit. If I had that dream, the police wouldn't be beating up on our children now. If I had that dream, the police wouldn't have took that woman down in the subway in front of her kid today. If I had that dream, Breonna Taylor would still be here. I want y'all to understand tonight, because I'm about to get into three things. And when I'm done, I'm going to leave you something to think about. I want everybody to understand what we do here, just so I can get all my people in line. Because a lot of you all are not regulars of Facts Over Feelings. You just came because of the stuff that we did down in Brunswick, Georgia. Y'all saw me show my true colors. I can be a very respectable young man. I can speak very articulately when I want to, and especially when I'm communicating with one of my own. But if you wake up the black king in me, motherfucker, I will turn into the straight hoodest motherfucker you ever know and let your ass be laid the fuck out 6 feet under and visit you every day and put some shit on your grave. You see, I'm not Hollywood. I'm neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? And every now and then you got to show them that. Okay. But we here tonight. We back in the house. So there's no need for all of that. The first thing that I want to get into tonight, and then again, if you haven't dropped your email by now into my inbox for the invitations into the NFAC, then you can wait because that is closed now. We have stopped accepting emails. I have over 12,000 right now. Tomorrow, those invitations will go out, and some folks will find out if they made it through the first vetting to become a member of the NAFC, to stand in your city legally armed, telling them you ain't gonna do a goddamn thing to me, because if you do, the whole NAFC will pay your town a visit. And we don't come to protest. We don't come to march. We come to see them boys. That's what we do. If y'all ain't never seen no shit like this, this the kind of stuff your uncle used to tell you about. This how we used to ride back in the day. I know I ain't the only one. I've been talking to brothers all over the country. We just need to get on the same page, because right now it look like the police is on the same page. It looks like all of the KKK is back on the same page. It look like everybody, the white militia is on the same page. The only people who ain't on the same page is us. So we gonna get back on that page. And if I have to be the one that opened the door to do it, well, damn it, I'll do it. But I can't do it by myself. I'm going to need y'all to get with this one. This is not a movement. You see, a movement goes from point A to point B and it's done. I don't want a movement. I want to change, period, permanently. So we got a couple of issues to deal with here. And the first thing I want to deal with is let's talk about the case that's right in front of us. And y'all already know what that is. And that is the situation that we went down to address down in redneck ass, Brunswick, Georgia. And I want to shout out to everybody in Georgia, that watched us come into your state. So let me clear that up. Nobody was from Georgia. We came into your state from multiple states, and we let you see how you should respond. That is not a knock on Georgia. I understand you may be afraid of those people, but you got backup now. So don't be afraid of those people. But let us deal in fact for a second. Okay. I'm going to say something that's not going to make you happy, but it is the fact. And the fact of the matter is, and y'all need to get ready for this. The reason we went down there, the reason we went to their house, the reason we went to dude's house that's acting like he had nothing to do with it, the reason we did that was not to get them right then and there. Oh, it would have been nice if somebody would have been home, but they acted like they wasn't. The reason we went was to let them know we know where you live now. And if you walk on these charges, we will be back. But some people say, no, they got him, Jay. It's they going to jail. Let me help y'all out. You need to study the law, because I told y'all earlier, one of the tricks that they use is they overcharge you. So that way there's no way that that charge can stick, and then you walk. Right? Wrong. In this particular instance, let me show you what really happened in the eyes of Georgia law, which is why we said, let them walk if you want to. Because we already know what y'all gonna do. You see, we're not stupid either. We have studied the law. Okay. This is a timeline of what actually happened, at least what we know so far. And I'm leaving out all the media opinions. I'm leaving out all the fake news. If you listen to the mainstream news, this might shock you because they don't tell you everything that actually happened. So let me break it down real quick in the eyes of the law. Okay. You research this yourself. On February 23rd, there was a home security camera that caught a black man in a white shirt trespassing into a house that was under construction. And he was in there for a few minutes, and somebody said that he was committing a burglary. And the footage showed him running, leaving the house. Okay. That is a fact. That is in the eyes of the law. A 911 call was made that informed that a black man in a white t-shirt was trespassing and that he was running off. And the caller also informed them that we had some previous sightings and some previous trespassing. That's all in the call. And then we had a video that was recorded where Ahmaud Arbery, that's the black with the black skin and the white shirt, he's running up to one of the men and he gets into a pursuit and they ended up with him dying. Okay, you can make out of that what you want, but I recommend watching the sources. I'm not going to make opinions for you. These are just the facts. Now that the legal aspects, here's why they're going to be acquitted. See, I'm telling y'all this in advance. I'm always telling y'all what's going to happen. That's why the NFAC is appropriately need to be created, because we tired of seeing them walk. We tired of saying we're going to wait on the verdict. We tired of saying, well, maybe they'll get, fuck all that. And we're not saying it because we're angry. We're saying it because we understand the law. So for any of my lawyers that are on here, let me help you out too, because I know you know what I'm saying is correct. Okay. First of all, the grounds for citizen's arrest in the state of Georgia, it says that a person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence, or, they don't tell you this part, or within his immediate knowledge, meaning he can just think it. If the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, A private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds for suspicion. You see what they just did? They're saying you don't have to see it. You just have to suspect it. Now, let's be real. Let me keep it 100. If my man was out jogging and he knew this little route and he knew nobody lived in that house, I'm going to keep it 100 for y'all. How y'all know he ain't stopped to go by there to take a piss? I've been in the neighborhood. I've seen the neighborhood. I've been to the houses. It's a nice neighborhood. Ain't nowhere to piss, and the damn sure ain't nowhere around there. For all you know, pit stop me, run back here, do my thing, keep it moving. But if you are conditioned to think that all black people are thieves, that all black people are lazy, that all black people are killers, that all black people are up to no good, you believe some shit that they used to say about us 50, 60 years ago. You see, we wasn't lazy and shiftless and untrustworthy when we was working in your goddamn fields and working in your houses for 246 years. Now, all of a sudden that we on our own, we supposed to be shiftless and criminals. So these rednecks seen a bruh go into the house. Okay, maybe he wasn't supposed to go in there and take a piss, but I've been down there. There's nowhere else to go. But they had reasonable suspicion under Georgia law. Okay. Now let me break it down. Let me break another piece down for you. Okay. Under Georgia laws, those two people had immediate knowledge of a possible crime and or suspicion of one. No matter how fucked up it might have been. The truth of the matter, that's the law. Now, they're going to come back with the stand your ground law. Well, let's break that down. A person is justified in threatening or using force against another when and to the extent that he or she reasonably believes that such a threat or force is necessary to defend himself or herself or a third person against such an imminent use of lawful force. However, except provided in Code Section 16, 323, it says a person is justified in using force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm only if he or she reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent the death or great bodily harm to themselves. Now, I told y'all once before, they forced him into a situation where he had to fight back, knowing that they knew the law. Prosecutor, investigator, a cop, you know how to twist the law. Okay. Those are the facts of this particular case. Fuck all the other crazy shit that happened after that. They're going to walk on that because they're going to say we didn't know what he was doing. Even though the homeowner has come out and said ain't nothing got stole. We looked at the video, the bro looked like he was just looking around, probably looking for a place to piss. He wasn't doing nothing. Now, we have already made it clear. And we said it before we left. Y'all can pull that shit if you want to. Y'all keep wondering why George Zimmerman is still walking around because there was no NFAC. Y'all want to know why the cops that shot Tamir Rice are still walking around because there was no NFAC. Y'all want to know why the cop that shot and killed Mike Brown is still hanging out somewhere because there was no NFAC. Because at no time in the last 60 years since they wiped out the Black Panthers has there been a group of black folks that came forward to say, we didn't come to talk. We come to bust you in your ass for what you did to us. And after we bust enough for y'all in y'all ass, you can play brave if you want to. Yeah, I saw the little post of the white boy talking stuff after we left. I saw the fake rage online about what you gonna do if we don't after we left. But you didn't say that while you had boots on the ground. You didn't say shit while we was in town. Matter of fact, didn't nobody say nothing. The cops didn't even say nothing. So don't come at me with that. If we do this, Jay, they gonna come after us. No, the fuck they ain't. There's no room for you to be a coward right about now. Now, I made that clear. We also got to deal with the nepotism. You got to deal with the fact that when they went to this, when this first happened, that the Georgia police thought they had enough probable cause to arrest those men for shooting him. But they got a phone call from Jackie Johnson because she was friends with McMichael and said, he ain't shit. Let it ride. And then everybody went into quarantine and thought that shit was going to get swept away. You see the same thing with the Breonna Taylor situation. Don't y'all get upset because it happened 2 months ago. Don't act like we ain't been doing something else for 2 months. For 2 months, most of us been on lockdown. For 2 months, most of us been waiting on a stimulus check. For 2 months, we didn't give a fuck about nobody getting killed in the streets or nothing because everybody was trying to duck the COVID-19. But now that everybody done came back out, all the shit coming to light. And what they finding out is the type of black people that are coming out of quarantine. We ain't the black folks that went in. You see, we're not distracted no more. Y'all should have pulled this shit before the quarantine so we didn't have time to get our minds together. We didn't have time to sit around and think about all the shit that you took from us. We didn't have time to sit around and get tight with our family members like we are right now. We didn't have time to really say, what in the fuck am I doing in the United States if my only life is to wake up, go work for another motherfucker, then come home and get some sleep? I want more than that, not just for me, but for my children and for my whole race. What the hell are we doing here? You see, y'all put us in that mode. And then when you let us back out, you thought you could go back to that same bullshit that you was doing before. But then you found out bros ain't having that. Sisters ain't having it either. We ain't having that shit at all. We ain't fucking with y'all no more. We're not fucking around with y'all no more. And I'm going to tell you something. If you ain't never had nobody say that to you and you don't know what that means, my mother used to walk in the house. And when she said those words, we knew that everybody in the house was going to get their ass tore up. I'm not fucking around with y'all no more. That would mean there's no more discussion. There's no more debate. There's no more, why did you do it? There's no more lies. There's no more, well, let me go find out. Judgment is going to be administered right now. So y'all play y'all little stupid ass game, and that's very, very good. But Mr. Larry English, the man that owned the home, said that there was nothing taken and there was no crime committed. The police have already confirmed there have been no break-ins whatsoever. Those are KKK members who saw a black man in their KKK neighborhood and decided they was going to hunt his black ass down and kill him and thought they was going to get away with it because they knew everybody from the rooter to the tutor. But what they didn't know, as the great Nipsey would say, last time I checked, you don't know all of us. I always warn you all, never generalize when you talk about people. Never say all men, ladies, because you don't know all men. Never say all ladies, bros, because you don't know all women. Just because of who you dealt with, you think you know everybody. They dealt with some country, quiet, obedient black folks. What they did not know is that there are some suited and booted, ready to get it in, strapped up all day, 2 bags full. Sir, what do you need past the ammo motherfuckers running around here who done served this country? We know how to strap up. We've been deployed. We've been to combat before. We've been shot at. We don't got shit blowed up. We know how to do shit y'all don't even know how to do. And then you gonna let us come back home and you think you gonna start treating us like it's the 60s again? Motherfucker, you got us all fucked up. You ain't the only one that know how to use grenade launchers. You ain't the only one that knows explosive ordnance. You ain't the only one that know chemical warfare. You ain't the only one that knows psychological warfare. You ain't the only one that know how to torture a motherfucker. You ain't the only one that know how to blow shit up and burn shit down. You ain't the only one, cousin, and you ain't the only one with the tools. So we find ourselves in a place, gentlemen and ladies, where we now have to form a coalition. Oh, yes. If you ever notice, when the United States wants to go against somebody, they form a coalition. Okay, they get everybody together. That's why I said I want the Bloods and the Crips. I want the Nation of Islam, the Fruits of Islam. I want all the motorcycle gangs. If you black and you in one of those fraternities and you ain't too far gone, I want you too. If you in a gun association, if you in a gun club, if you a brother on the street that just know you sick of the bullshit, guess what? We enlisting all you motherfuckers. And if we decide we gonna march on Washington fully armed, 1 million of us, that they would think would be an act of war. Against who? These are U.S. citizens. These are people you said was protected under the Constitution. These are people you said everybody was equal, but you ain't been treated equal. So guess what? We had to strap up, to show up, to ask you what the fuck is up. So in this particular case, and I'm gonna get off Mr. Arbery because I really feel like we're gonna see how this gonna play out. Yes, we are. We gonna see how this play out. And I really hope that those of you all that are sitting around talking about, I can't believe that this is happening in my lifetime. Believe it. Believe it. Because they're slowly moving this country to a different type of place where we're not welcome. We already ain't welcome, but we really ain't going to be welcome. And you ain't going to be shit. Okay. That kind of lets me segue into this next piece right here. I'm going to let you know right now, and if you have a carry conceal, good. If you don't have one, get one. If you don't know how to shoot a gun, you need to learn. That's part of our program. But if not, if you can get that done where you at, every black person needs to arm themselves legally, responsibly, okay? If you are a felon and you are no longer on parole, you are no longer on paper, check the laws in your states. You can have your gun rights restored. Everybody needs to arm. I'm talking every man, woman, and child at a certain age needs to learn about firearms. Y'all need to stop this bullshit with the Xbox. Y'all need to stop this shit with Jordans and all that dumb shit. Y'all need to learn to go buy some weapons, teach your family about weapons. And when my son says he's going out the door to jog him and say, you got your pistol? Get ready, because you don't want this shit to come to your block. Now, before I get off of Mr. Arbery and the good folks down in Brunswick, love all of y'all, I'm going to say this last piece. Isn't it ironic that CNN went out there on the same street that we was on the day before, and you heard somebody shooting in the air? Y'all seen the news report? Sound like somebody had a machine gun. They just firing off. Y'all remember that? Well, that was interesting because we didn't see them when we got there. Where the motherfuckers with the machine guns at? Because you're cowards by nature. You sneaky by nature. But don't think that we don't forget that you tried to invade Vietnam with your heavy fighting force, and a little ass country full of people who had bows and arrows and spears and shit defeated the mightiest army on earth. How? Guerrilla warfare. You don't want guerrilla warfare in the United States. You don't want suicide bombers in the United States. You don't want snipers and towers in the United States. You don't want us baiting the police to come to places so they can get shot the fuck up. You don't want that in the United States. So white people that ain't down with that, you better get your people in check, because right now we sliding down that slippery slope. I done heard a lot of you people who won't do nothing sit around and say, well, they just went down there for show. You thought we was down there for show. What did I tell you? We don't start shit, but we're going to end everything. That's why the police did not approach us. We weren't afraid of them the same way y'all shouldn't have been afraid of them. But the point was we had more firepower, more attitude, more body armor than they did. They could shoot all they want. We was going to shoot their ass back, and we'll figure it out later. I'm going to get off of that. Y'all know if you want to join the NFC, you just let me know. We the Not Fucking Around Coalition. We want you to form one of our not fucking around crews. When some shit pop off, you already on deck and you're not fucking around. There are certain individuals that we don't fuck with. I'm going to use this word a lot. We got a not fucking around list. You know what the not fucking around list is? It's those organizations that ain't doing shit. It's those organizations that's just collecting money and shit. It's those organizations that's always on the front line running their goddamn mouth, but then they disappear till the next time. No, we're not fucking around no more. We're not coming to your protest with no goddamn signs and shit. When we show up, we got pitchforks, we got knives, we got motherfucking torches, we got axes, we got machetes, we got all kinds of shit. But I digress, my people. I think there might be some people on here who might be afraid at this point. It's a good time for you to go ahead and log off, because now we're going to talk about something else. Now, I told y'all, if you haven't had a chance to watch my piece called, and it's interesting because Malcolm X gave a speech back in the 60s called The Ballot or the Bullet. And a lot of y'all chose the ballot because you're too scared to launch the bullet. And now look at where we are today. No fucking where. Okay. So because of that, when all of this craziness started, I did a speech called The Needle or the Bullet. I told y'all when this COVID shit first started that the virus wasn't your problem. It was the pushing of agendas, using that as the excuse. And some people say, nah, they would never do that. So y'all got to get out of that, nah, they would never do shit. And then they do it and you got the Cheerio look. You see, we need to flip that shit around, because right now they're saying, nah, they wouldn't do that. Now we're going to give you the Cheerio look. Because there's a whole lot of stuff that y'all acting like we can't do. Then when you see one of us do it, y'all standing around in fucking amaze. You know what somebody told me the other day? They said, damn, Jay, we went from a pandemic to a civil rights movement overnight. You spread faster than the goddamn plague. You damn right I did. Because people are sick of the bullshit. We more sick of the bullshit than we are of the virus. You understand what I'm saying? So let me get into why I told y'all about the needle or the bullet. Because I told you they take steps. They don't run up on you. They take a frog and you put it in water. If you put the frog in boiling water, he gonna hop the fuck out. But if you put the frog in just warm water and slowly turn up the stove, you can cook that motherfucker. They are slowly turning up the stove on us. You see, when they declared the emergency, they turned up the stove. When they enacted the DPA Act for production, they turned up the stove. When they put everybody on lockdown, they turned up the stove. When they started saying you got to get tested, they turned up the heat on the stove. When they started trying to blame black people for being the most infected because of our underlying health conditions, which is bullshit, they turned up the stove. Now it's boiling. Now they trying to make it so that we trying to help you. So here we go now. Somebody decided that they wanted to go to Congress and put forth a bill. And if you haven't heard about this now, I've been preaching to y'all about the final days that comes out of the book of Enoch with Yahweh's name restored. It talks about what's going to happen in the last days. Y'all know I told y'all this shit. I'm not sitting here to preach to you. You go to them fake ass preachers that do that you keep giving your money to when you sitting there starving, but they living in a mansion and you keep believing them. You won't listen to a brother on the street that's just telling you the truth. Tried showing y'all this months ago. Well, guess what? Now it's happening. Remember what I told y'all before? I don't sound so crazy now, do I? I don't sound like I'm tripping now, do I? This don't sound like a conspiracy theory right now, do it? Because unless you've been hiding under a goddamn rock, you have no idea what HR 6666 is. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into that. And y'all know how your boy get down. I just happen to have a copy of the whole goddamn law, HR 666, from the Secretary of Health and Human Services from the 116th Congress in its second session. Today being May the 14th, this was introduced 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they came up with this. I've heard a few people talking about it. I've heard a few people come online and they all in the clouds on some mysticism shit. But what I haven't heard anybody do is what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to break down the bill and tell you where it is right now, why you should be concerned, but why you shouldn't be panicking. I told you, under martial law, the military can come into your home and give you the shot. That's why it's the needle or the bullet. It's not, are you going to give me a needle or you going to shoot me? No, motherfucker. You're not putting a needle in me. I'm going to have to shoot that ass. That's when you get to the point of martial law where the military has to do the job. Oh, they're going to try and be nice about it at first. That's what this raggedy ass bill is about. This is a bill that gives motherfuckers the authority to come to your home, test you in your home, and then say you're infected and either quarantine in your crib or take you away. Y'all remember that video that I posted a few months ago where they took the girl out the house and she was screaming and crying and shit, and they threw her ass in that little round truck and they drove her away and she was screaming the whole way? They gonna throw your monkey ass in one of those too. And here's the trick. We all know the tests don't work. The motherfuckers over in Africa tested a damn apricot and a goat and it said that they had the shit when they didn't. So we know the test is bogus. You gonna let somebody come in your house talking about, I'm just here to test you, when you know that the test is some bullshit? Well, that's not the part that should concern you. So if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna take a few minutes for my folks out there to dissect from the 116th Congress, second session, House Resolution 6666. Okay. In a nutshell, it says, and if you have a copy, I invite you to get a highlighter and pen along with me. See, y'all thought I was one of them dumb brothers like Pookie, Ray, and Nut that sit on the corner. Oh, hell to the motherfucking no. I'm one of those brothers that done slid up in every organization, sat in every chair, got all the education, got all the security clearances, got close to all the shit so I could see what the fuck is going on. So let me enlighten you. It says to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services, listen to this, to award grants. They're giving away money. See, they tricking everybody with money. They got you with money. If you got one of those stimuluses, they got you too. If you out there getting that SBA loan, they got you too. They throwing money around to trap everybody in. You see, debt is slavery. And even if you try to go against whatever you're doing, took their money already. I ain't took a dime. I don't want your money. I don't want your cure. I don't want your test. Matter of fact, I don't even want your police. I don't want nothing from you. I want you to back the fuck up and let me and my people get together and determine our own fucking destiny. Why you just can't leave us the fuck alone? Because you scared we're going to come back and get that ass. Says right here, they want to give grants, listen to this, to eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for COVID-19 and related activities such as contact tracing. Y'all seen them advertising for the jobs through mobile health units. That's a cute way of saying a truck. And as necessary at your residence. They talking about coming in your house, yo. They talking about having the authority to, this is violating the fuck out the Fourth Amendment. We coming in your house under these reasons. No, the Fourth Amendment says there's no excuse. But y'all just gonna come on in. And I want you to know, don't sit here, all you little people who stuck up in the red, blue pill game. We don't play that over here. There's no red, blue pill here. You either in it or you ain't. Ain't no Democrat and Republican. That's the same goddamn team. Now, if there was a Democratic Party, a Republican Party, and a Black Party, then maybe I can understand why you own one of those three. But there ain't no Black Party. Y'all stop voting for people who don't have no fucking agenda for the Black people. And stop going on some fucking popularity contest. Meanwhile, we steadily losing money and everybody else getting rich the fuck around us. You keep playing that silly ass game because you don't know no better. Oh, I'm going to vote for Biden. Really? The fuck's wrong with you? Well, we got to vote. No, you don't. You can withhold your political power to get anything you want. The reason I'm telling you about this is so you can use your political power to do what the fuck you need to do. Because y'all obviously ain't ready to shoot up shit. Y'all ain't ready to storm the White House. Y'all ain't ready to blow up Congress. Y'all ain't ready to bomb the Pentagon. Y'all ain't ready to do none of that shit. So we gonna vote, okay? Until y'all get y'all shit together. Because this shit is comical to me. Don't ask me who I died and came back as, but whoever I was, what I'm seeing, this shit is ridiculous. Everybody who signed off on this bill, all these names, are Democrats and Republicans. This was introduced by a Democrat, not by a Republican. In this bill, as I dissected the bill, y'all, what I found interesting, they always come up with some slick ass name, don't they? Excuse me. They said this act may be cited as the COVID-19 testing, reaching and contacting everyone act, TRACE. I don't know about y'all, but reaching and contacting everyone, everybody, TRACE. That's the name of it. Same way they used to have the Patriot Act. If you knew what Patriot stood for, it had nothing to do with being a patriot, which was replaced by the Freedom Act, which had nothing to do with freedom. All of these are ways that they take your freedoms away from you and lock you in and use an excuse. Now, here's my problem with this. You're going to pass a law for something that's not supposed to last but for 18 months from what you told us. Why are we passing a permanent law? Didn't I tell y'all that once they pass these laws, they have no intentions of rolling them back? Y'all keep consenting to this shit and you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. The needle or the bullet. But what should disturb you the most about this bill is that if you read down, there's a section about mobile health units. And what it says is the purpose is to conduct diagnostic testing to trace and monitor the contacts of infected individuals and to support the quarantine of such contacts through mobile health units and testing and quarantine at your residence. See, they already put you in the house to get you used to it. So you won't think there's nothing wrong, but there's a difference between me self-quarantining and you telling me I can't even go out the house to go to the goddamn store. This is not the United States. I remember this is not the United States that I fought for. I remember saying that I would defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And it sounds to me like there's a domestic enemy on the loose. Matter of fact, it sounds like there's two domestic enemies on the loose, the KKK white man and the old white man up in DC, starting to become domestic enemies to the people. Further on in this bill, it then goes on to say, and I'm going to read this to you right off the bill. It said grant recipients under this section may use the grant funds in support of the activities described in the subsection. So I read the subsection. It seemed like it made sense. It says to hire, train, and pay the people who gonna do the job. Okay, I got you. Then it says to get personal protective equipment. Okay, I'm like, cool. That's all right. But then you drop down to the next section and it says, who do you give priority to that you're going to do this shit to? Well, you know who going to get the money? Well, let me jump to page 3 if you follow along. It says applicants proposing to conduct activities funded under this section in hot spots and medically underserved communities. Well, who's the hot spot? According to the white man, it's the black folks. Who are the underserved communities? According to the white man, it's the black folks. So they setting this shit up so they can come in the black community, come into a black home, quarantine you in your black fucking house, or throw your ass in a little truck and take you the fuck away because you are a hot spot in an underserved community. And then it gets even crazier. If I can continue, do I have clearance from the people to keep going? Can I dig into this? Can I teach and show y'all what they trying to do to us because they think we stupid? Can I teach it here? It goes on to say that whoever is going to do this in these hot spots and these medically underserved communities, that they have to hire people. Watch this. They have to hire residents of the area or the community where the activities will occur. Listen to what they just said. They gonna get black folks in your neighborhood. They gonna give them these jobs. Probably pay them a nice little penny to turn around and do this shit to you. You see, they know we not gonna play that shit. They know you're not gonna let these motherfuckers up in your house. They know that shots gonna be fired. They know that flames gonna get thrown. They know that some motherfuckers may never come out the house. We might keep you. You know, you shouldn't have came up in this motherfucker. We gonna take you down in the basement and let you see how we do it. They know that. So instead, they gonna get your neighbor. They gonna get the people live down on the corner. They gonna get somebody who just moved in your neighborhood. They gonna get a motherfucker who's gentrified your neighborhood. You see, they gonna get somebody. They gonna say, well, they from your neighborhood. I'm looking at this username. I'm gonna say this before I start kicking people the fuck off my page. This is nothing funny about this. Unless you're a white person in here and the truth hurt. There's nothing funny about this unless you're undereducated and you don't really understand why we're all here. There's nothing funny about this. So if you don't have nothing better to do, get the fuck off my page and take your low vibration, low intelligence having ass back to the cave and get the fuck off of here and let black people have something to their goddamn self. We're not fucking around with y'all no more. It goes on in this bill to say, it says they're going to hire people in your neighborhood. But then they're going to say, but we're not going to violate any of the privacy laws that are already in place. We're going to violate the fuck out the 4th Amendment, but we're not going to violate the laws around HIPAA. They will protect your medical information. Now, here's where it gets tricky. I'm teaching. Y'all need to keep up. If you skipped school and don't know how to listen and learn, then you go ahead too. This is for all of us ain't going to make it. I told y'all that a lot of folks are not going to make it through this. A lot of y'all are not going to survive this season, but I'm here for the survivors. I'm here for the fighters. I'm here for the learners. I'm here for the folks that give a goddamn about what happens to us, even if we got to die to do it. That's who I'm here for. Anybody else, you can bounce like a rubber ball. But all my folks, all of the elect, all of the chosen, all of the children of the earth, all of those who feel that Yahweh has touched them in some way, all of y'all who've been having these crazy ass dreams, all of y'all who know that there's something ain't right in the air, you need to stay posted right here where you at because you're not here by accident. Happy birthday, Malcolm. It goes on to further say who is eligible. Now you would think that this bill is authorizing doctors and nurses and medical personnel who have to come out and do these things. But no, when I started to read the bill, I was shocked. These are the term eligible entity means, and I'm going to read the bill to my folks. It says any federally qualified health center. Okay, I can go with that. School-based clinic. You want the school nurse To be able to come to your home with your child that they trying to sneak off to get put into sex trafficking and lock you in your damn home. They saying that a disproportionate share hospital. They're saying that an academic medical center. You mean the college folks down the street can come to your house now and tell you that we got to quarantine you black folks up in your house? A non-profit organization, including faith-based organization. They saying the church can come in your house now and quarantine you. I don't know about y'all, but ain't nobody from no goddamn church coming up in my house. Y'all ain't holier than nobody else. Y'all asses as crooked as every goddamn body else, but always want to sit in judgment of people. Bring your ass down to my house if you want to. I kill every last one of you motherfuckers. Then it goes even further. An institution of higher learning. You're going to tell me you're going to let a high school make a decision to come to my house talking about we here to test you? If y'all don't get the fuck out of my house. They even go on to say that a high school, and then they say, listen to this, any other entity that is determined by the secretary to be an eligible entity. That leaves it wide open. That means that anybody can become an entity. Well, I got one for you. If y'all gonna let all of those folks become entities that's gonna go around and test people, y'all need to let the NFAC become an entity too. We don't mind showing up and testing people. We like to go in some of the white neighborhoods and test some of those folks. We like to be in their homes and tell them that they can't leave. Yeah, we'll do it at the barrel of a gun too, because that's how they're gonna do us. The needle or the bullet. That's exactly what is going on. That is why I thought it appropriate tonight to come up in here and come before y'all and speak just as Malcolm did when he said the ballot of the bullet. I'm telling y'all that if they pass this resolution, it's going to be the needle or the bullet. Some of y'all going to be sheep and go along with it because you got the spirit of fear. But the reason that all of this stuff happened, and I salute Ahmaud Arbery as a martyr because he was a sacrifice, because it woke everybody up. And we wouldn't have been down there if they hadn't killed that boy. They didn't even realize what y'all intended for evil, Yahweh intended for good. You killed one of his sheep for the last time, and then you woke up his warriors, and we showed the fuck up with Yahweh behind us, scared the shit out of you. But that's what it needed to wake up the people. Now everybody around the globe is fired the fuck up. Now everybody around the globe is ready to strap up. I got to send a big shout out to the people in the UK. We got 28 seconds left. This is the end of the first hour. Y'all make sure y'all come back and catch the second half. We still got to get into Breonna Taylor. Oh, we ain't done with that. Louisville, you don't get off that easy. Y'all meet me right back here. Facts over feeling. This is part one. I'm going to see y'all on part two. Shalom.